music down, and we are live. Time to build a Voron V0.1. This is something that's never been done on live before, quote unquote. Yeah, I'm kidding. There are plenty of people who have built Vorons live on stream. I'm just deciding to do mine live as well, at least portions of it. So today, I am starting with this project box. It is filled up with all the parts for this build. I've got the Voron design page pulled up on my iPad here to get the manual. And we're going to do this. See you there. Thank you. I will see you over here. Hopefully everything sounds all right. Folks in chat, let me know. Could you help me? Just got a Voxelab Proxima. Every time I try to print, it says different resolution with projector 1620. Are you using the slicer that came with the Voxelab Proxima? Sounds to me like you've got a resolution error in the images being presented to it, which I'm not too familiar with personally, so I would look into that. Yeah. Is this thing coming across at a decent quality? I'm outputting at 1080p, so whatever. Alright, moving on. Let's switch to a full view. Rad. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got chat pulled up over here. Live chat, not top chat. Using the Voxelab Proxima, yeah. I mean, I would expect that to be working for you, but the fact that you're using, I don't know. I'm sorry to say I don't have a good input on what's going on there, but it really does sound like that. Voron V0 doing mine this summer. Rad. Alright, folks. I got the bin here. I got the box. Let's get to this. Switch to this camera angle. Here's our box. Here's our bin. We're going to be starting off with the printed this rad little piece here that goes on this thing. It's this is a new back panel that I downloaded off one of the Voron mod websites. I really like the look of this thing. So, all right, we're going to be starting off with the frame. You'll be on Patreon for at least a couple months. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Nick. I'm mostly glad that that sounds like things are looking decent for you. So, I did self-source. I entirely self-sourced this. I bought, you know, little kit pieces here and there, but for the most part, and switch to Polaris profile on its printing. Okay, well, glad to hear that. Maybe there's a resolution difference in the version of the Proxima that you have. I can't say for sure. All right. So, I've got my frame pieces here. There are 16 of these little 15-15 extrusions. Things are looking a lot worse, so I'm throwing myself into it. Hey, I can't really argue with that. All right, I'm gonna pull up the instructions here. I set up a screen that should be showing you folks my iPad screen. There we go. All right, here's my iPad screen right over here. I pulled up the Voron Design website. How am I doing today? I am doing okay. I am ill-prepared for the stream as always, but you know, hey, I'm not complaining about that. So that's just a fact of life for me at this point. Everything I always change. Like I threw my iPad into the mix for this stream, and that's another monkey wrench into the gears here. But I wanted to be able to screen share the instructions with folks while I'm doing this, and so let's pull up the manual. And in doing so, my laptop, I only have one screen on it, so I didn't want to have like just the single screen of my laptop splitting up so I couldn't see chat and everything. I have a new setup coming in for streaming. I'm going to be putting a TV back behind the camera so I can look at camera and read chat, but I'm waiting on that. I hope you can get the Trash Guys reaction. I'm not going to film the Trash Guys on that, unfortunately. Okay, this is taking a while to open. Oh, Jesus. Freaking open it. Apple, you gotta be... You gotta be annoying, don't you? Fine, open it in Chrome. There we go. Was that so hard? Alright, we got the instructions pulled up here. It wouldn't be alive if it wasn't Pyrex teacup. I'm making that my signature at this point. And, yeah, I'm not going to film the trash guys with that whole thing. That video did terribly. It got like 2,000 views, which for me is absolutely horrendous. So that was terrible. It got like, it's close to 6,000 on Instagram Reels. And I'm not cool with filming somebody without their permission. And, you know, the only way to get a good reaction would be to not ask for their permission. So, you know, is what it is. Alright, let's go through these instructions and start taking a look here. So I've got the section which shows the printing profile stuff. I did not necessarily follow the printing profile settings. Switch cameras. And so that could be a concern in this build. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It could be a concern that I didn't dial in the settings on my prints the way that they necessarily want you to. Can you recommend a program that can cut large prints into smaller pieces to fit my printer? There is a program that can do that. I don't remember what it is offhand. I've heard it. It's gotten some news recently. There's like an online program that can do that. You're gonna have to search for it. I'm sorry. Finally pushed me over the edge to buy an Ender 3 Pro. Rad. Okay, so what I was talking about with the prints, I got to dive into this build. So there's a couple of things with the printed parts for the Voron V0.1 and the 2.4 that I did that maybe are not recommended. I used the default extrusion width in Prusa Slicer, which is 0.45. So I'm worried that might dimensionally affect some of the prints. We're going to find out as we go. And I used more perimeters and top and bottom layers just to make some, like, possibly stronger prints. What's a good printer for beginner? I just wanted to be the first person to ask it. Good job, Nick. Thanks for getting that out of the way. What's Luban? The new freaking... Oh, Luban. That's the software that can slice up... Yeah. I think you're right. Check that out. Try searching for that. It's an online program that will slice up designs into smaller pieces for printing on smaller printers. So, thanks for the help, folks. Ooh, that got a little funky. Yeah, so, and I also printed my accent pieces for this build in PETG, which could absolutely bite me. You know, all the black parts are ABS. I use PETG. So, time will tell if creep is an issue or any of the other stuff. And yeah, I don't want to block the words beginner and printer, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want people to be able to ask for help and that question, because when they buy them through my affiliate links, it helps me. It does get old, but you know, it is what it is. I need like a pop-up button on my stream deck for that on the live stream. Just boop, Ender 3, or maybe a sound clip. I can just record myself saying that. What's a good beginner printer? The Ender 3 series. Maybe I'll clip that later or something. Nice drink cup. Thank you. It is not iced tea, it is regular tea, but it is tea in a measuring cup. The iced tea is still in the jug over here. So, okay, I know the first start where we're really going to be starting is the frame of the V0. Let's move through these instructions a little bit. Hardware references. I've got a full hardware kit that I picked up from Fabrico. Get an easy button that does it, yeah. We're going to be using blind joints for this assembly, not corner pieces or any of that. We need hex wrenches, got that, as well as screwdrivers and such, and a full workshop here. Alright, so I need to figure out which are my A extrusions, B extrusions, and C, D, and E. These are all the same size, but they have different hole placements. Okay, there are two 200s. Oh, there's one 200 that has nothing. I think it might be this one. Yeah. Nope, this end's threaded. This one has no holes and is not threaded. Switch cameras. This one has no holes and is not threaded. I think this is A. There's 5 of B, which have no holes, but are threaded on each end. Or on one end? I can't quite tell. That's not threaded. That is threaded. So this is threaded on one end. I'm going to set that aside and figure out what that's for. That's threaded on one end, no holes. This might be threaded on both ends. Let me grab an M3 to thread in here. I just put aside a bunch of M3 screws. All right. That's threaded on each end. Is this one threaded on each end? I picked up... My frame pieces came from Funzor on AliExpress, which was a budget option. So I am mildly concerned that I might have some issues. Definitely didn't pick up an... Oh, this is threaded on the other end. I just can't see the threads. Okay. It is nicely... it is after cutting these were... after cutting these were... That does not look super square. After cutting these were anodized. I like that. Okay. This is threaded. Threaded. Rad. I'm sorry, TikTok chat. I'm probably not going to be able to pay a whole lot of attention to you guys today. You folks. Sorry. Because I need to get through this build. 5 with no holes. Now it says there's supposed to be 5 of these. I so far only see 3. That's not a good start. Yeah, this is definitely not threaded. Definitely not threaded. Have I ever thought about some EV conversion stuff? I would love to do an EV conversion, but I've never had a customer come to me and request one. So let me add these up real quick. I thought there's supposed to be 16 extrusions. What is it? I'm building a 3D printer from scratch, the Voron V0. All right, 1, 5, so 6, 8, 10, 4, yeah, 16. Okay. I'm confused. It seems like I've only got 3 of the B extrusions. So, A, B. Let's move on to C and we'll double back. Okay, C has 2 holes, not threaded on the ends. That are 7 and a... Yeah, come on. We are building a Voron V0 3D printer from scratch, technically. It's not technically scratch, it's, you know, I didn't cut these pieces. I did print the parts that are printed for it and such. I did see the printer going around that's printing at 1,000 millimeters a second. That is, I believe, a rat rig build. And that is definitely a goal with this build and possibly my Voron V0. I don't expect to reliably print at those speeds, but it would be nice. That's a big part of why I'm building a Voron V0 and a Voron V2.4. Good luck on the build, thank you! Is speed. I want to be able to print faster and higher temp materials. Okay, so this one is threaded on both ends. And looks like 7.5 millimeter off the end. Let's measure hole placement. This is kind of the boring part, I guess. Oh, you frickin' idiots. I can tell that the people who design Voron stuff, like, there's been a few little hints to me that they're not necessarily engineers, but they're just doing a really good job of it. Is there some stuff kind of missing here? Or the way they measure to the center of a hole. Well, how do you measure to the center of a hole? You can't. Most people design to the edge of a hole and put measurements to that. I mean, I understand putting them to the center, whatever. It is what it is. All right, I'm gonna switch you folks to just looking at the... You don't need to see the instructions right now. I'm going through those, so... Pull up chat. I really need a second monitor hooked up for these streams. Okay, so this is C. Let's check this one. This one is not threaded on each end. This one is threaded on each end. Alright, this is C. The A, B, and C extrusion setup here. On to D. What's the difference between D? No, the D threaded on each end is the D. These two, not threaded, are C. Okay, that's the difference. E. Time for E. This looks like E. There should be 4 of these. Alright. 4 of these. They should be threaded on each end and have a center hole 29 millimeters off the end. Yeah, you can measure that way, but my point is that, I don't know, when I design things, and the way I was taught to design things is measure to an edge, because your hole diameter should not matter for the... That should be factored in pre-build. You know what I mean? So, I can easily do the math, but it's just annoying. I can also pretty well clearly tell, like, these ones are supposed to be 7 millimeters from the edge. I measure, they're 6 millimeter. They're where I need to be. I'm pretty sure those are for 2 millimeter hardware, or maybe 3, so. Alright, this one should be 29.5 millimeter off the edge, and we're right about 28 millimeters, so. That is a E. Let's check this one. BMW 2002 EV. That'd be a good option for an EV swap. A little hard to fit a decent sized battery in there, but like a Tesla motor will really move that thing. And it's light. That's really going to help. So that'd be a rad one. All right, so these are my E. 3. And here's the 4th one. Based on centerline. All right. I guess I come from welding and fabrication, so I'm used to doing things that way. Maybe I'm just used to the way that I do it. I don't know. I design everything I build for the most part, so I'm not used to having to deal with other people's designs. All right. There are my E extrusions. Now, we gotta jump to H. H has holes at 7.5 millimeter. What's the frickin' difference in H? There's not one. Okay. Let's check. Bloop. There we go. Oh, wait, this is an H. I see what the difference is. There's holes on the side. Working on the printer. Yes, I'm working on the Voron V0 build. All right. I see what I missed before. Okay, so D. No. I already messed up. Kind of. Or they messed up. Seems like they messed up. Somebody's wrong, because I've got double holes on these. And the instructions don't show that. So I'm going to put these aside as H for the second. And look back at my D's real quick. Nope, these are my H's, so these have to be my D's. Okay. Which means that these two, which have holes in them, that I'm not seeing on the instructions, must be my missing B's. This is strange. These instructions seem a little off. I'm wondering if these were cut for a B0, not a 0.1. Only time will tell. I don't know. Nelson S joined on Patreon. Thank you very much for that, Nelson. Okay. These are mystery ones. We're going to set aside for the moment. A little concerned about that already. Now, we've got G and F extrusions. These are the bed extrusions. Thoughts on an Ender 5? Depends on which Ender 5 you're talking. Do you recommend Ender 3 Pro or V2? I personally recommend the Pro over the V2. I don't really care for the glass bed on the V2 or the color screen on it. That's personal taste thing though, so a little hard to say. Okay, so these are my F, and these are my, and this one is my G. Really, I could put those here. F, G. All right. We're gonna start. Cable chain. Where'd my cable chain go? I have it. I'll bring it over here. Good start. The only thing about the Pro that I don't really like, talking Ender 3 Pro, is the loudness of it. It's fairly loud because it's got the loud stepper motor drivers usually out of the box. But you can put a quiet board on it, and then that really will alleviate that, help that. So, all right, I'm not seeing where the heck I put my cable chain. I thought I brought it over here. Nope, that's heater module. Oh, there it is. There's the cable chain. Little snaky bastard. All right, cable chain out of the bag. There we go. So, I gotta get the end link off. Remove end link. There we go. End link off. Alright, I'm gonna set this aside for the moment. Now I gotta start getting into my printed parts. What temp do they want for the heat inserts? They have a setting. Temp. Alright, whatever. Pull out the hardware kit, which is buried at the bottom of the box. I've also got to find all of my bits and bobs that are going to be important in a moment. Ender 3 S1, I have zero experience with the Ender 3 S1, so I would recommend the Prusa in that situation, because just purely based on the fact that I have no experience and I don't recommend things I don't have experience with. I don't find it a good course of action. Thank you for the beginner playlist. It's been a big help. Love to hear that. Thank you. Alright. Power supply. Let's get the electronics out of the way. Got the Fadus hot end here for later. I don't think we're going to get to that today. I'm really not sure how far we're going to get into this today. Only time will tell, but... Alright. Here's the hardware kit that I got from Fabrico. Or I don't know how to pronounce that other than put a flourish on it, so that's what I'm saying. Fabrico! Alright. Now I just got a pile of parts in here, and I gotta look for the bed. Can I go over bed types in the future? Yeah. I was thinking about that. I need to do that. That will happen. It looks like they want me to use the bed part. Chain visibility. Yeah, they want the bed side bracket. Here's the bed bracket. I should have done a better job of organizing these prints, but it was a big enough undertaking getting the prints done. So, where the heck is the bed part? Love tips on reducing stringing, temperature, and retraction. But I will work on covering that a little better in the near future. That looks possibly right. Alright, let's switch camera angles and just show you the mess that's here of all the printed parts. Alright, that's top hat. Entirely unimportant for now. Skirt, unimportant for now. This is a motor mount that will be important. Electrical mount, unimportant. Display piece, unimportant. Tensioner. That looks like a bed mount, but I don't think it's the bed mount I need right now. Yeah, okay. That's important. Another motor mount, that will be important. That's an extruder piece, unimportant. Motor mount. Other motor mount. Extruder assembly, unimportant. Extruder assembly, unimportant. That's the one I'm looking for. Alright. I need to do a better job of going through those and figuring out. Yes, this is a 3D printer that you partially print yourself. All of these pieces that I have here are parts that I have printed for this build. There are a handful of printable parts for this, and then there are a handful of, well, and there's plenty of parts you have to buy, so. How many 4th graders could I take in a fight? I'm going to go with none, unfortunately. Sadly, I see myself as probably a little too, what do you want to say? Nice. Too nice to do that, unfortunately. Okay, let's get the soldering iron set up here for some heat insert tips. I got to put 2 heat inserts into... it's really upgradable if the parts are printed. Yeah, I mean, there are a ton of mods and modifications for this machine out there because it's a printed design. So, you know, you can, and it's fully open source. So I have the CAD files for this, and I can do, you know, I can modify them, change them however I need for my own purposes. There's an M3 tip for my soldering iron to use for heat inserts. What bed do you recommend for PETG? PEI. I really like PEI for PETG. Glass can be troublesome. Gets a really nice smooth finish, but PETG can heavily stick to there. Have I done anything on television? No, I have not. Soldering iron is on. All right. Get these pre-staged. Doing a couple of heat inserts. See if I can focus in here for you folks. Let's see, I'm right about here. Focus look okay? That looks decent. All right, we're gonna do a couple of heat inserts here. No, I haven't done any television. I've auditioned for a handful of things on television, but never been cast. Whoop. All right, I'm gonna pre-stage these on here. I usually design mine, when I do heat inserts in my designs, I usually make them a little easier to assemble. I usually put like a little step into them, but craziest reaction I've ever gotten to my ear holes or my split tongue. Really? Nothing. It's rare that I get to anything too crazy, honestly. Heat insert 1 going in. Heat insert 2. Going in. All right. I'm gonna set this one just a little more. Yeah, that one can go a hair more. All right, 2 heat inserts down. There's the first 2 heat inserts, ready to go. I'm gonna let that set aside for now. I'm gonna need that very soon. Yeah, I need to use 2 of the M3x8s, so I'll dig those out right now. To install that, I'm installing this cable chain. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. This cable chain mount onto there. The bed on the Ender 3 Pro stock is PEI. It's amazing. I thought that was a slightly different material, but that's still the one I recommend too, because I like flex sheets personally. All right, so a pair of, let me pull up the instructions here for you folks again. iPad split screen. All right, so I'm using a pair of these screws going into this cable chain mount. I don't know why they didn't use countersunk hardware. These things are countersunk, and that should be good and cooled by now. So I'm up here, and I'm looking at this right here, this diagram showing me how I need to assemble this. Folks on TikTok, if you want to see a better view of what's going on, head over to YouTube, youtube.com/MandicReally to get a better view. Maybe a better view. This printer's so small. That's what everybody says about this is what's difficult about building this machine is just that it's small. Everything about it is small, and for a lot of people that's difficult, but I don't know. I don't have the smallest hands, but I'm used to working in tight areas on cars, so I feel like I got this. I feel like I got this. All right, first components, heat inserted and assembled. Chain link end, or the cable chain end is installed in this bracket. I don't think we're gonna need this again for a while. What's my favorite print less than 12 hours? I really like printing my can grenades. My can grenade designs, I can do in less than 12 hours, and they're fun. I really like seeing them come together as quickly as they do, because like a lot of my designs take almost a day to print. So it's kind of fun to be able to do like 2 grenades in one day. I think I told you this before. What kind of car does a sheep drive to the beach? You know, Nick, you have told me that joke before. But the fun part about it is my memory is dog shit. So I don't remember what the answer is. Is it Lamborghini? Was that it? Yeah, trash can holder, yeah. So my new metal trash can holder design, I just came out with. So I'm happy with this. This is a design people wanted forever ago, and I finally got around to it. And it also has a lid that does cover up the can, so in the summer or whatever, you don't have to worry about bees and ants and such getting into your drinks. And then this one's from Eric Gidry on TikTok, E Gidry. He designed this one. It's more like your modern wheelie bin, so it's fun. They're fun little designs. I like these. So he inspired me. I meant to get to this trash can forever ago, and his making this one really got me inspired to make mine. Both of those are available on thangs.com. I posted a video yesterday on TikTok showing that off, taking it out to the curb to put out the trash, and it did terribly. Got terrible views. So, all right, let's move on to the instructions. Populating nut carriers. I don't need the nut carriers for this because I actually got some pieces that eliminate those. That's my bed. Here they are. Nut bars. I got nut bars. I'm a nut bar, you know. Left YouTube to come to TikTok. Jeez. Well, use the audio from TikTok and keep YouTube live or something. I don't know. Yeah, I got nut bars I'm using instead of the printed. The way the design is you print these pieces and then you put nuts into them. But I actually got these. I believe they're made by LDO. Yeah, they're made by LDO, and they are just metal coated and allow you to thread into these instead of having to use printed parts. The printed parts are probably a hair lighter, which might be good in the long run, but I don't know. I kind of like this idea of using this and reinforcing the extrusion a little bit better. Just my thought. So, what's the fastest I think I'm going to be able to print a can cup with this? That's a good question. It would be one of the grenades most likely, because most of my designs won't fit on this machine. And I really don't have a good answer to that. We are going to play with it and we are going to find out. If we can cut the time in half, I'll be amazed. And we'll find out. So I absolutely intend to be doing, what's the best direct feed extruder hot end? I really like the BQ-H2. I run that on my Ender 5 Plus. Pretty happy with that one. And then there's the E3D Chimera is a really nice one. All the other ones are like separate hot ends and setups. Should a newbie invest in a filament dryer? Honestly, that's really hard to say. I don't use mine that often, and I have a lot of filament, so I really can't tell you whether or not it's good for you. If a grenade takes 12 hours, do you think you can get it done in 5 or 6? That's the goal. I'd love to see that happen. And we'll definitely be doing some live fast printing on TikTok. Doing some live streams of just fast printing and maybe on Twitch too. And yeah, so that's the goal. We shall see, hopefully. Okay, moving on from that. I got the nut bar, so I don't need this step. I need 2 of my E extrusions. A, B, C, D, E. 2 of you. With the holes facing out. Is it the holes facing out? It looks like the holes... Mind the access hole. That's not helpful. Mind the access hole. Yeah, I see the access hole, but that's not... But is it this side, which has more of a large hole? Or is it anything against drying filament in an oven? No. Most American ovens, in my experience, don't really go cold enough. Because you're drying filaments at 50, 60 Celsius. So, hello, people. What are must-have upgrades for the Ender 3 Pro out of the box? Time. There are no go-to upgrades for an Ender 3 Pro in my mind. Don't get me wrong, there are print upgrades that I like. But for the most part, I recommend people just learn the machine before you start upgrading. That's one of the biggest problems people have in 3D printing is they immediately want to start upgrading things because it's fun and it's easy to do. So like, I would recommend the bed handle. There are bed handles that you can print for to grab onto for moving the bed back and forth. Print that. Print a few of these simple printable upgrades like the filament guide for the top of the machine, things like that. Print those to learn printing, but then just sit back and learn printing, because too many people start upgrading things. I'm not getting good print quality, so I'm going to put a new extruder on the setup. I'm not getting good print quality, so I'm going to... This is the Voron build. I'm going to start doing this, that, and the other thing. And before you know it, they're down a rabbit hole, and they still don't have good print quality, because they never stopped to learn before they did that. I use my food dehydrator. I've been considering getting a food dehydrator, both for food and also for actually doing that. That is absolutely fantastic advice. Thank you. It's something I don't hear people talk about enough. Like, I did it, don't get me wrong. I totally dove in and immediately started modifying things. But ever done dual print nozzle? I have one that I will be doing a YT video on very soon. Very, very soon. In fact, you can see the machine back there with dual extruders on it. So that's coming very soon. What would be a good wood filament for me? The one I have just clogs up. Go to a bigger nozzle. Wood filament at a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, you're asking for trouble. The fibers in there are often big enough to clog you up. So go to a 0.5 or 0.6 millimeter nozzle, retune your settings, and go that way. So, okay, I've got my nut bars here. I still don't 100% know which way I'm supposed to be setting this up. I don't see the holes that I'm supposed to have here, so I don't freaking know. I'm gonna slide this in here, and I'm gonna quickly try and look. There we go. I got my little nut bars in place. I bought the laser engraver, bed insulation, and bed leveler. Yeah, I usually recommend people stay away from bed levelers. Off the bat, anyway. What printer are you building? We are building a Voron V0. 0.1 E extrusion access hole. We're off to a great start on this. The fact that there's already an issue. I might just go forward because this is E-extrusions. Yeah, they're not showing this particular design, so I'm going to go with it this way. So I'm pretty sure this is what's intended. The V0 is a mini Mark III. No, it is not. It is a Core XY machine. It is drastically different than that. Yeah, it is a Core XY machine, so... There's good answer, Nick. There is wood filament, and yes, it kind of looks like wood. It has wood fiber in it. Got the CR touch after watching my video. Cool. I hope it works well for you. I hope you like it. It's a solid machine. I mean, I use it on a couple of my machines. So I just generally recommend people learn printing more, like actually get into it and learn before they dive in and buy a auto bed leveler. It's just the point I wanted to make there that I kind of missed. Let's switch to the other camera angle. I got the nut bar slid in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of nuts in, or well, I gotta put one of these on here. The linear rail, the itty bitty linear rails that this thing runs. It runs MGN 7s. What's your favorite printer? I'm hoping this one. Nah, currently my favorite printer is probably my Ender 5 Plus, but only because I've heavily modified it. Woo! Almost lost it off the end of the extrusion. Alright. How many screws? We are using the M2x6s. Or M2x6. I'm not seeing the M2x6 BHCs. I've got SHCs. Lovely. Hope they didn't screw me on that one. Let me put one of these in here and take a look. Nah, doesn't matter. Okay. Need my 1.5 millimeter here. Are silky filaments more brittle? Yes, they are absolutely more brittle. The adhesion between layers is not as good on silky filaments. Possibly matte filaments too. And as such, they are more brittle. Oh, what's going on in chat over here? A bed leveling assist is not a replacement for your leveling your bed. Agreed, Nick. Printing a 10mm cup on the CR10. Rad. Love to hear it. Waiting a little to install the ABL till you get used to the printer. That is an excellent plan. I wholeheartedly support that. My extrusions are a little... Maybe, let me check my nut bars here, make sure there aren't different ones. Nope, they're all the same. The nut bars are just a little different. Aren't you the guy who designed tool cups? Yeah, technically. 10mm socket cup is one of my designs. Printing in silk as we speak. I print in silk all the time. I just don't use it for, like, functional prints. Stuff where it's going to be under a load. You know, some of my cup designs and such, it's fun. It's nice to have a silky design look to things, but, yeah. Yeah, see, my, how are you doing today? Jay Keats, welcome. I'm doing all right. So, see, like, I've got... The instructions show these spaced differently than mine, but the nut bars have locations in different spots, so... That's what we're going with. Oh, yeah, I need my centering tool. Know anything about Voxelab printers? I know they are owned by FlashForge, and that's about it. Bought my CR10 based on your recommendation on the Congrow refurb sale. Hope it works out well for you. Wall art. Yeah, silk filaments are great for wall art. Alright, where is my rail alignment tool? Here's my ends, my rail end stops. There it is. There's one. Should have printed a couple. I'm not seeing a second one. Did I really only print one of those? I usually print like 3 or 4. Well, that's not good. Oh, there's the second one. Ha ha. Drinking out of a measuring cup. It's a nice large cup. Yeah. Ordered a whole new roll of copper filament for a barrel trash can. Rad. Alright, there's my little extrusion guides. These help to line up the rail on the extrusion in the proper location. So, cool. Alright, now I need to measure down. Well, let's get this other one on here. And then I need to measure down and get this in the right height, the right position. Can Cup is your first 15-hour print. Awesome. Love to hear that. Hope it works out well for you. Is there a way to tune Z-Probe offset on an Ender 3? Yes, there is, but the Creality stock firmware that they provide doesn't offer the good way of doing it, unfortunately. Switch cameras. Creality doesn't put the Z-Probe wizard in there that the Marlin firmware has, which makes it so much better. Not counting printed parts, what's the price of this? I haven't added up my price, or what it has cost me. The kits for this thing run somewhere around, teabag can holder. Oh boy. the kits for these run somewhere around $900. So I would bet I've probably got that into mine. But I have to add it up. I'll add it up before I do like a roundup, a finish up video, or a final stream on this. There's a glob of grease in one of these holes. Thought these came ungreased. All right, I got those all started. Great. Now, does this still move? It's a little tight. Can I move it? Come on. Can I move this one? No, it's too tight. I gotta loosen these up a little bit so I can move them. Because I've got to get this centered up in the point where they actually want it. The proper set height. There we go. Now it's movable. All right. Moving forward. 38 millimeters from the top of the extrusion. I've got to measure down. So, I'm just going to do... Well, I'm going to set this to 38 millimeters. What's fun is, for a lot of you folks, a lot of folks probably don't have experience with it. But this is how printers were back in the day. Like, pretty much all printers used to be this way, that you had to build your printer. And they were, like, day-long, multi-day processes. We have come a long way in that regard, for sure. Alright, I use the end stop on the caliper. Tighten that. Tighten that. I'll double check myself, make sure I'm measuring properly. All right. I wish they gave me the measurement at the other end so I could double check this, but I'm gonna tighten these real quick. Just loosely. Am I missing something? It's showing the M3s going in the bottom there, but it's not showing any nuts for those. I wonder if that's supposed to be on the nut bar? I don't think so. No, because the nut bar goes all the way end to end on the measure once, cut twice. Yep. Have I used or looked into the Ender extender kits? A lot of people say they're great. I have not used one. I'm going to slide an M3 nut in here because I think that's what I need to do for this stop piece that's got to go in. M3 by 8. It's one of these. And I'll get that on there. Slide that up against the bottom. I didn't see it say that that's how I was supposed to do that, but that's the only logical thing I see. All right, that's working pretty well. Tighten that. Tighten all these. The Voron V0 can be configured direct drive, or it can be configured Bowden tube. I originally started doing Bowden, but I switched to direct drive. I am now doing direct drive on my build. The mini afterburner. Originally I was going to do Bowden because I wanted to just go as fast as I could, but then I decided, you know what? Like, I can still go fast with direct drive. I will just figure out what works for me. How big is the Voron? This version of the this Voron is itty bitty. Like, these are the linear rails. Little bitty things. The build volume is 120 by 120. A lot of people like the Ender, coming back to your question over here, Dale's Garage, a lot of people like the Ender extender kits. I have not used one. I would generally recommend somebody buy the Ender 3 Max if they want a larger machine, but that said, I've heard good things about the Ender extender kits, so I should really do one just to get the experience of it. But yeah, the print volume on the V0 that we are building here is 120 by 120 by 120. Itty bitty. It'll barely fit some of my cup designs. Only thing I want to change on my Ender 3 is the fan noise. I do not blame you on that. I will be doing a couple of videos on fan noise setups on TikTok very soon. I actually forgot to mention in my weekly roundup video that I printed a 120mm fan mount for my for one of my Ender 3s this week. So that makes a big difference. That power supply fan is annoyingly loud. All right, 38mm from the end. Tighten this down. Tighten this down. I want to say thank you for the Ender 5 Plus brace. Love it. Thank you. Love to hear that. Glad it's working out for you. Yeah, the Ender 5 Plus brace is probably bigger than this printer. The point of the Voron V0 that I'm building is for me to do prototyping parts, like quick little parts, things that I'm going to be printing on a regular, like as I'm prototyping stuff. I'm going to keep this in my office and just have it so I can quickly print off either scaled versions of things or whatever, just to play with and to figure out if my dimensions are right or any of that. Or if, you know, it's working properly, and then I'll put it to another machine for the finished product, where I can wait longer. And then, of course, I want to play with just printing freaking fast. I want to look, you know, who doesn't want to print fast? That's just fun. A small, fast printer is definitely a bonus. It's definitely a good thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that. You can go to a mini soda cup. Oh, that's a good idea. I can finally revisit those small cans that I've been meaning to forever. Okay, a little bit of filament got stuck in this nut. Now I'm already screwed up. Grab a para. You folks have been looking at the same screen here for a while. Let's switch that. You don't need the instructions right now. All right. Start this on here. Threading this on here a little bit. It's hard to show this stuff without like setting up a macro camera, and a macro camera on live would be a nightmare. So. I was really hoping to get the frame done on this today, and I'm not saying we're not going to, but this is definitely taking longer than I had hoped at this point. So, yeah, we'll see, hopefully. Get the chat back up here. What do you think of my 3D printed RC sled? I love that thing. That is so cool. I really want to build one. I'm just in the middle of a bunch of projects, so I can't currently justify it, but I love that. That is rad. I don't talk about it much because I haven't done it in years, but I love snowmobiling. I freaking love snowmobiling, so I love that thing. That was so cool. Not much for RC, but I like it. Trying to calibrate to... Do you use Octoprint? I do from time to time. I'm not a huge fan of it. Okay, I've got these two setups together. These are my Z extrusions. So this is what the bed is going to ride up and down on. So, that's done. Let's move on. Do you print all the printable parts for the Voron? I did. I printed all my own stuff. I've got a bunch of printers, so I was able to do that. If it's your first printer, you wouldn't be able to. But yeah, I printed all my printable parts for the Voron, and I used Polymaker ASA for all the black stuff, and I printed all of those parts on my Prusa. My Prusa i3 Mark III's, and then I used the Greengate 3D PETG for the accent pieces, the parts that are looking pretty in this green color. Hoping that doesn't bite me in the butt, but it very well may. Is that not my Z? Oh, that's my Y rails. These are Y rails, actually. Okay, I thought those were the Z. All right, moving on to the Z then. I need C extrusions for the Z. A, B, C. Okay. I was wrong. Those were not the Z's. Those were the Y's. Most of my parts are ASA. The majority of the parts are ASA. Because this machine is so fast and usually used for printing hotter materials and enclosed, ASA is the preferred, ABS or ASA are the preferred materials for it. Trying to calibrate 2 cams for Octoprint. I've never done 2 cameras on Octoprint. I would like to. I would like to do a multi-cam setup, but I have never done it personally, so I can't be any help to you, sorry. Alright. Back to installing these silly rails. Now I've got a little better handle on what's going. Hopefully we can go quicker here. Get through there. That's not a good start. I don't know how much my build has cost to this point. I'm going to add it up later. So whenever I do like a final overview video on TikTok or on YouTube, I will discuss the price because I will look for... I'll add it all up before then. It's kind of a... I've been out of sight, out of mind about it because I don't want to know how much I'm spending on this build, really. Not yet. So, yeah. I knew I wanted it. I knew I needed it. I had use for it. I don't know. It's not fair to say I needed it, but... What is a printing temp of ASA? I print the Polymaker ASA, but I've been using it 250. 250 degrees is what I've been printing it at, and it's been pretty happy around there. Bed temp, 110. So it is definitely all metal hot end stuff. You're not going to be printing that on like a stock Ender 3. Yeah. Yeah, Prusa Mint. I use the Prusa Mint profile and Prusa Slicer for the Polymaker ASA, and it wants to be like 260, but I did some temp testing before I started printing all these and found that 250 was where Polymaker seemed to like. And 100 on the bed. I do 110 on the bed, or I was doing 110 on the bed because I don't have an enclosure around my Prusa. It's open air, and the studio is not as warm as I might like. So, you know, seemed to be a better idea. Do you do licensing of your can cups for resale? Yes, I do. In fact, during the stream, somebody just joined up to be a reseller. Patreon. Patreon.com/HotRodHippie is where you can find to see about being a reseller. So, yeah. Did you get your parts from Fabrico? I got a handful of the parts from Fabrico. This hardware kit that I'm pulling my screws from came from Fabrico. I've been happy with very quick service from them, and I haven't seen any quality issues with the parts that I've gotten so far. I'm printing open air, so that's why I'm printing at 110, because I'm using the bed heat to kind of heat up the air around it a little better. You used the stock hot end with the new heat break. It's called a heat break. So you used like an all metal heat break. So hey, that'll work. That should get you in the territory you need to be in. Yeah, I would say like less than a third of the parts I got came from Fabrico. These linear rails are from Fabrico. They are the Honey Badger stainless steel rails. I wanted stainless rails so I didn't have to worry about corrosion over time. And their linear rails were stainless for a significantly more affordable price than LDO ones. So I went with these. And so far, I like what I see. I got the hardware kit from them. I bought my bed heater from them. I forget what else I got. You should be able to print ASA with an all-metal hot end on an Ender 3. I'm not going to guarantee it, but it should be doable. Yes. In theory, there's no reason it won't work. I've not done it. I don't have an all-metal hot end on... Oh, no, I do. One of my Ender 3s has an all-metal hot end. Yeah, if you want to see about licensing to resell, Nick is a member of the reseller program there. patreon.com/hotrodhippie. Go check it out, and there's licensing terms and all the information is on Patreon. Not all of my designs are available for resale, unfortunately. Some of them, you know, like the monster logo and such, they feature intellectual property of other companies, and as such, I can't authorize those for resale. But, you know, I try to do my best. And I also have Patreon exclusive designs. Honestly, you could use a freaking cardboard box as an enclosure. Like, as a temporary enclosure to get you through a project, it'll freaking work. It won't be pretty, and I would definitely not leave it alone in case it catches on fire. But, you know, that's the danger of a printer anyway, so. Okay, I got these both assembled, started, blah, blah, blah. So let's move to... Alright, I gotta put 33 millimeters... It says it won't call out nuts inserted in previous steps, but it doesn't tell me to insert nuts in the previous step. That's silly. Whatever. Little inconsistencies in the instructions. You built one of the lack enclosures. They're cool. They're cute little setups, yeah. All right, 33 millimeters on this one. $33 millimeters. You gotta slide down. Boop. Bumped in. Let's tighten it, then we'll double check. No. Needs to go down just a hair. It's more like a half a millimeter off. Let's try that again. I guess I wasn't holding the caliper properly. All right, I'm happier with that. It's more Pinterest in my office for my girlfriend. Hey, nothing wrong with that. My girlfriend uses Pinterest as a marketing tool for her tattoo business, and it works out beautifully, and we're heading down that path with her office as well. And my office is definitely more stylized than it would have been if it was left up to me. So the studio is getting that way too, and I'm not complaining. She designed the banner that's behind me. I love that banner. I freaking love that banner. She's designing all the branding for my business, for Mandic really, and it's so nice. I'm so thrilled with everything. Just getting these tightened up here. Yeah, the Fabrico hardware kit seems to have included some different hardware, but have you seen the 3D printers for ants mods? I'd like to make a Zero flying gantry, but waiting for development to progress a little. Yeah, I have seen them. I learned about those after I started sourcing this build. So I just want to build a regular Zero, the way it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to play around with changing it from there. I've seen them. They look really neat. I like some of what I saw over there with the 3D printers for ants. Some of them seem like some really interesting designs I would like to check out, but that's down the road. I gotta get this going. Get this one up and running, and then we'll check back. I want to switch cams, so you folks can see the beautiful backdrop over there. All right, got these just about tightened in here. All right, that one's freer than this one. All right, double check my measurements. Looks good. Looks good. Let's put our stoppers on. It says that they called out putting nuts in for these ones earlier, but they did not. Definitely did not. So that's not instilling confidence. I know it calls out, like, plenty. Jeez. A little filament stuck in the hole of this one. Alright, there we go. Ay, ay, ay. Grab my electric screwdriver. Make my life a little easier. This is, I think, a 2. There we go. That's much better. Alright, I'm fairly sure that this is supposed to go on the long end, it looks like. It's not really clear in the instructions. Let me show you folks the instructions again, where I'm at here. It's really not clear where I'm supposed to be. I feel like music's a little loud. Yeah, like, I'm right here, but it doesn't tell me which end these extrusions should be, or these stoppers I'm putting on should be. I don't know. I don't know. So we're just going to put it where I feel like it's supposed to be. Excited to see the final results. So am I. It's not going to be today, I can tell you that. I am certain of that, but we'll get there. This is not a short process. I do really like the fact that these 50-15 extrusions, you just slide an M3 into them and boom, you're done. Like, it holds nicely. Alright. Okay, now, where's the nut? Well, you didn't tell me to put a nut in there, but okay. Now, my Z and my Y are together. You're getting an SKR Mini E3 for your Ender 3 Pro. I love the Mini E3. I really like it. I run it in a couple of my machines, or I only have it in one machine right now because I've been changing things up around here, but I've been really happy with it. So, cool. Hope you enjoy it. What am I missing? I feel like there's something missing here about some nuts going in. Yeah, whatever. Alright, bed carrier pieces. So I need these two here. And back into the bin we go for the printed part. Did I pull out the bed piece? No. There it is, hiding behind a freaking label. Alright. Okay, my bed piece for these extrusions here. These fit in this way. Looks like I need to slide a pair of M3 nuts into these. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start the other way around. I'm gonna put the screws through here and the nuts into those. This is the first of the actual Voron ASA parts I think I'm putting together. Like I said earlier in the stream, if anybody missed it, I'm concerned. We shall see. Hopefully I have good luck with everything as far as these parts going together, because I didn't really follow their instructions on how to assemble. Just a personal choice that I made. I used slightly different printer profile settings. So hopefully this works. I mean, so far everything seems to be fitting. So knock on my head, we're doing good. Ah! Except for starting this is kind of a bitch. Okay, that's started. Where's the other nut I just had? Where'd the other nut just go? Maybe I only had one, I don't know. Just opened my first printer, Ender 3 Pro. The dog and cat printed, but with small errors. I'm hoping to leveled plate again. All right. Follow my leveling instructions if you haven't seen that video. It might help you out. And in my beginner tip video and series. And, you know, hey, like, honestly, I find that the stock card slice files often have print quality issues. I really feel they could really dial those in a little better, in my opinion. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I wouldn't worry too much that you got some print quality issues with those first ones. Don't let that discourage you for sure. All right. Let's switch camera angles and get this. Cool. That's going into there. You've got to slip into here. Putting the... Oh, I missed the extrude. There we go. I'm not doing the metal. I thought about doing the, what I think they call it, kigurumi. Your tip videos were amazing. Awesome. Love to hear that. I thought about doing the kigurumi bed right off the bat on this one, but I decided not to. I'm gonna stick with the stock build setup for the start. Okay. All right. These go on here. Boop, boop. I'm going to loosen these up just a hair because the next piece goes on the other end of this, and I want to make sure that it aligns properly. And the printed part doesn't throw off the alignment as it's going together. Because this piece needs to go here. Now this is meant to be... This is where things get a little different because this is meant to be a blind joint, meaning I actually slide it into the extrusion and have to screw it through the extrusion. So it's a little funky. Whoop. Damn it. We're off to a great start. Slide that over a little, line it up. There we go. I feel like this could really use some Loctite. I have Loctite around here somewhere. Maybe I didn't bring it out. It was in the shop. All right, slide you over. There you are. Where was the charger for the screwdriver? It was just packed away somewhere from the move. We were cleaning up a lot of stuff, organizing my office, and I found it, so yay. But the way this is designed, I can't really use the electric screwdriver on a lot of this stuff, unfortunately. So, yeah. It doesn't tell you anything about tightening these in any particular way. I'm going to use... Well, that's weird. It doesn't tell you about any particular way of tightening these or aligning these. Strange. I'm going to make sure that they're equal length, edge to edge, side to side, and we'll go from there. I'm going to tighten this. Alright, that's tight, that's tight. Now let's check how far in these pieces are. Next thing I need is a stream deck so I can easier switch screens for you folks to get a better view of what's going on. Alright, I'm measuring length here. Come on. Alright, that's like 20.4 millimeter. Yeah, this one's a little... This side is like 20.3. Yeah. That's probably too much. But let's see. .6, that was definitely too much. Yeah. God, now it's 20.6 this way. Splitting hairs here. Back and forth, back and forth. Said last week my Ender 3 won't print. It was a cracked extruder gear. Alright. Well, I'm glad you figured it out. Sucks that it was that, but hey, at least you got it figured out. Whew, that moved way too much. Yeah, that moved way too much. Let me align these through these holes real quick. Kind of half-ass tighten them in place. It's interesting, the instructions don't say much about doing this, what I'm doing right now. But I feel that this is important. Any experience with GST PLA? No, I've heard really bad things. I've heard people are fine with it, and I've heard really bad things, so I don't know which way to believe. But I haven't bothered to try it. 20.12. 20.47. Let's go that. 20.6. Ugh. I'm probably being too fiddly about this. That seems pretty good. We're going with that. Wrench in. Wrench tight. Wrench tight. Wrench tight. Okay. Now we're moving on. Alright, that's the little bed platform put together. Make sure I didn't miss anything there. Nope. Alright, that's set aside for the moment. Preload M3 nuts on one of the B extrusions. Okay. So I need to preload 2 M3 nuts. Show you folks the instructions real quick, sorry. Little confusing where we're headed next. Yeah, the stream back here. Okay, so I just inserted 2 M3 nuts here. It wants 2 of the 10s. Oh, I need to add additional ones. Okay, so there's supposed to be 4 in here? That is not very clear by these instructions. I'm pre-threading a couple of these in just to make sure they're good. Okay, so I need 4 M3 nuts in here as far as I can tell. Fiddly little stuff. The nuts or the screws I put in the end are in the way. My V0.1 turns up tomorrow. Rad. Where'd you get a kit from? Or did you get a kit? I self-sourced personally, so... But I'm curious where people got theirs from. Or, I'm going to be curious about, you know, quality of those or whatever, so I can recommend to people. Alright, so those are in. Now I need 2 of the M3x6s. That's these. Alright, 1, 2. LDO kit from 3D Jake. Cool. I'm starting out. What's a good 3D printer? I get asked this a lot, so Creality Ender 3 series is my go-to recommendation for a beginner 3D printer. Read the next 4 pages before continuing. Oh, geez. Preload 3 M3 nuts. Those are for the back panel. I'm not too worried about that right now. The wrench axis for these 2 needs to be over here. Can temporarily put a couple of M3s into these. I'm going to do that. Let's check this panel. Yeah. All right. Probably going a little overboard here. Cups are epic. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm just putting a couple of preloaded ones in here so I can use them later. Woo! In this area of the instructions right now. Luckily, these are things I have extras of, so... The kit that I bought didn't come with a lot of extra hardware, unfortunately. But I have extras, so... Okay. I need to do both B pieces. Okay. Another one of these. 4 nuts in. BL Touch for my Ender 3. Is it worth it? Get used to learn to manually level well before you put an auto bed level sensor on is my general recommendation. Auto bed leveling is not a replacement for manually leveling your bed, so it is best to learn to do it first, in my opinion. That is an M8. Or M3-8. And that goes. And this goes. Yeah, I say learn to really dial in your prints first, and then work your way up from there. All right, let's get these instructions a little closer to me here. Dial up my brightness on my iPad a little. H extrusion. Okay, I see what we're doing here. So, we're going to slip these new extrusions that I just did into these ones, like that, and that. that. And that. Rad. Okay. Those get slipped into there. I'll lightly get these to the point where they're just touching. Started out with Flash Forged Adventurer 3, worked fine until I tried Silk PLA. Silk PLA is brittle, so it can cause some problems, but if you have a warped build plate, is buying a new build plate the only option? You can use auto bed leveling in that sense to help fix your problem with with your bed platform, but really replacement is the proper answer. And don't give up. Will here in the YouTube chat says, and to add to that, don't get mad at yourself and give up when you have a mistake. You're going to continually have mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I'm constantly running printers, and I'm always going to make mistakes. That's just human. So do not beat yourself up about it. That is great advice. 3D printing is a process. It's a learning process, and you should get used to that. Okay, my H extrusions now. These my H's? No. These are my H's. Yeah. Alright. H extrusions. I'm going to put my 2 more 10 mils in here. Build on flat surface. I have a slab of granite around here that I wanted to have in the space for this project. This desk is pretty flat, but it's not as flat as I would like. So, unfortunately, it's snowing outside, and also the granite slab is currently under a couple 100 pounds of steel. So I didn't feel like moving it to get it in here. I didn't realize that until like right before stream. I was like, oh, go grab that. Oh, I forgot where it is right now. So we'll come back to that. And hopefully this works out without it. And for the Voron V0 or 2.4 build, I'll definitely get it in here. Maybe I'll recheck things on the granite after stream. Woo! This all just slips together so barely. Alright, now my H extrusions slide down over these. And there you go. Alright. Now, wrench access on the H extrusions. Build on flat plate. Yeah, I know. Okay, now they give me measurements on where this stuff's supposed to be. Let's get these sides tight first. Wish I was on an elevated platform right now. First one. Whoop. That came all apart. Second one. Next one. All right. Now, to square this up, I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 blocks. Got a couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks floating around here. And I'll put them in a couple of these corners. And that's not square. That's better. Alright, tighten this corner first. Let me get this squared on this edge. I gotta grab a straight edge real quick. I will be right back. Alright, straight edge acquired. Straight edge acquired. Let's get to straighten edge this. Alright. Those are on. Any tips for an out-of-the-box Ender 3 Pro? Go watch my entire series called New Printer Tips. Entire playlist on there. I am live on YT right now. Yes. Mandic Really. YouTube.com/Mandic Really. If you want to get a better view of what's going on, that's where you should head. Alright, that corner's tightened up. Let's do this corner now. Corner number 2. I'm trying to do a better view of on YouTube. Whether or not I'm succeeding, I can't quite say. Alright, 2 corners down. The other 2 are looking good. Let's use the straight edge on this edge. Right. This one. So all wants to wiggle just enough to be a pain. Oh, why is this? There we go. That's better. All right. That seems pretty square. Pretty square. Pretty square. Pretty square. All right. 1, 2, 3 blocks coming in handy here. I actually use 1, 2, 3 blocks on printers much more than I do in fabrication. In fact, I never owned 1, 2, 3 blocks until I got into 3D printers. Then I saw the value of them for this. Okay. Now I gotta measure over 57 millimeters. Or 58 millimeters from this edge. Damn it, slid. Slid just as I let off. 58 millimeters. Okay, let's move some stuff here. Get a little more room back into the zone where you folks can see a little better. Now I gotta bring this off this edge. See, that shifted a little. Not happy with that. End wasn't quite as square as I wanted it. Alright, I know those are coming back out, so we're back off. I have glanced through these instructions. How's the Ender 2 Pro treating you? I really haven't worked with it enough. I haven't worked with the Ender 2 Pro nearly enough. I haven't had time lately. So far, so good. Prints have been decent on it. I can't complain about that. But I haven't put enough time in on it yet to really say how I feel. You know, I think I realized I might have put extra nuts in here for no reason. I gotta double check. Check that. Okay. Yeah, this needs to come that way. "46-hour floral pattern max build." Wow. I gotta put it through some of those longer prints. I should really do that. All right. Let me double check back on these instructions. Make sure I didn't add a couple extra screws here. I feel like I might have. A couple extra nuts. I did. I added 2 additional nuts in the top. Okay. So I'm going to slide those past, get them out of the way. All right, those will come out in a little bit. Did I miss? I missed. Let me just start this out of this thing. Yeah. That's gonna happen. Lucky I noticed that before I got too far. That would have made a really annoying rattling down the road, which really would have sucked. Oh, floral pattern Gengar. Rad. I wanted to do one of those. I enjoy those like silly, ornate Pokemon statues. Should do 1 or 2 of those. Okay, this is supposed to be 54 millimeters from that one. Set myself at 54 millimeters. Would help if the screen wasn't broken on this one, but it works. Alright, 54 millimeters. Over you come. 1. 2. Went too far. Alright, I'm gonna push this one over and give it a quick tighten. Just to kind of get it where I need it. Get it to stay there a little bit. Alright. Let's double check what we got going here. Learned a lot from you. Thank you. Awesome. Love to hear it. Thank you very much. Alright, I gotta bump this over just a hair. And this one's a lot. Tightening it, moved it. Alright. Those look decent. Let's try this one more time. Alright, let me measure from this edge over. It's supposed to be 127, and I'm like 126.75. Double check this one. 57.8. Let's check that. 57.89. Alright, 58 down at the bottom. Very delicate work here. Smack it with a hammer. 58, cool. Now, this one needs to go... I think I went a little far. 127.3. 127.3. 127.2. That went too far, I think, but let's check. 126.5, yeah. And 26.8. I'm building a custom printer, yes. I actually have to measure out and get things just right. Square it up myself. Oof, so close. $126.9. I think we're gonna stop there for a second and check this end. 126.7. 126.7, yeah, okay. 26.8. 126.7. Tighten. Let's check this top one. 126.7. That brought it in. It's what we want to see. This is such a fiddly process. I knew it was gonna be. Knew it was gonna be. But we're getting there. Alright. Ooh, what is up with that? Ooh, wow, that bearing feels funky. Free that up a little bit. Needs some lube. Needs some lubrication. Okay, moving forward. Now I can put stoppers on the bottom of this. Oh, I see why I didn't put stoppers on sooner. They would have interfered with these bottom access holes. I'm going to tighten these a little more. Boom. Boom. Okay. Now, 2 more of my stoppers. Boop, boop. They get some M3x8s. Stopper number 1. Stopper number 2. Why do you keep switching to top chat? Can I use an actual level for bed? No. Bed leveling is a misnomer. You do not need your bed to be level. It's actually bed tramming that we're doing. I have a video on my new printer tips playlist about bed leveling where I discuss that. It's a little much for me to just like try and talk about while I'm working here. So go check out that video. But yes, bed leveling is a misnomer. You're not trying to level the bed. You're trying to set the distance between the print head, the actual extruder nozzle, and your print bed across the print surface. All right. I need like one more camera angle in here. A more close-up one or something. Maybe over the shoulder. We'll cover that someday. Someday we'll get there. Pyrex measuring cup is a coffee cup. Yeah. It is tea that I'm drinking in there. Yeah. It is, in fact, tea that I'm drinking out of that. All right. Now it's time for our bed mounts. Our mounts for the bed. That's the one that I already put the heat inserts into earlier. And the second one. And they mount to here with a couple of M2 screws. This is where thread locker comes in play, and I left it in the kitchen. I will be right back. 1 second. Love what you do. Thank you very much. Thread locker required. Okay. And a snack. M2x8. I should really have needle nose pliers for digging these hardware out of here. I thought I did. I need 8 of these. There's only 10 in the kit. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. should be getting ready for school. Well, hey, welcome to the stream anyway. But yeah, if you gotta get ready for school, you should probably go do that. Don't let me stand between you and education. I like to educate, so I want people educated. If that makes any logical sense. Just pretend it did. Just pretend it did. Humor me. 7 a.m. Where are you at in the world? It is 3 p.m. here right now. Australia? You're in the future? Yep, Australia. Okay. That makes sense. You are in the future. It's Valentine's Day there. Happy Valentine's Day. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day over there, or is it just a bullshit American holiday? I don't even know that. Kind of ignorant of me. Alright. Nope, wrong bit. This one. Yeah, we do. Cool. Would you recommend the Ender 2 Pro? I don't have enough time in on the Ender 2 Pro to give a recommendation yet. However, my initial impressions have been pretty good about the machine. I've been more impressed with it than I ever expected to be. Little dab of Loctite on this one. All right, number 1 in. These are a little shorter than I would have expected, but works, it works. All right, moving forward. This Voron build size is 120 cubed. 120 by 120 by 120. You owned a tree service business in Japan. Nope, didn't know that about you, Nick. That's neat. Didn't know you were in tree service at all. And then in Japan. Interesting. Yeah, here's where I could use some frickin' needle nose again. I should grab them. Got it. And here's where a ball end comes in handy. Alright, first one of those is on. I didn't tighten the shit out of that yet because we need to get the bed on here first. Halloween is the one time a year you can take candy from strangers. That's fair. That's fair. Whew. That was a lot of Loctite. Alright, first one of those in there. Second one. Zoom in again. I would literally take candy from stranger anytime, any day. Alright, well, you know, to each their own. See, my problem is I don't like taking candy from strangers because I'm vegan. So then I have to, like, you know, oh, is it vegan? Oh, I can't take that because it isn't. And I don't like that. I would prefer to avoid it. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm sorry, you're not giving me the thing that I actually want. So I just prefer to avoid the conversation. Alright. That's in there. You know what? I just realized I'm not going to be able to tighten these afterward. They got to be tightened now because once the extrusion's in place, I won't be able to tighten these. So, tighten we go. All right. tightening. I thought I wasn't gonna live to see the Voron come to life. Hey, Lyra, don't count things yet, man. We're not there. This is only the beginning. You still may outlive it. Or who knows? I don't want to say you're gonna die, so we'll just leave it at some weird awkward moment. All right. Moving forward in the instructions. Let's see what the next step is. Finally replacing the extruder on your Ender 3 V2. One of the arms broke. Sorry to hear that, but I've never broken one of the plastic arms. I've replaced most of them preemptively, but I've never broken one. T's getting low. Alright, let's look what the instructions got for us now. Alright, I preload one M3 nut on each side, it seems, of the bed. Alright, let's see if that did it. Yep, it did. My microphone died. It's got a battery in it, and I didn't charge it before stream. I thought it had plenty of juice. But, now we're back. Yep. 1, 2, 3 blocks are an excellent tool for assembly of machines and any of this stuff, so definitely agree on that one. Seems like mic levels are good. Mic levels are good. Yep, cool. Ay. It wouldn't be one of my streams if something didn't just go wrong. Is a Neptune 2 worth buying? I generally recommend stick with an Ender 3. I like the Neptune 2 fine, but there's nothing about it that really makes it stand out as a superior machine in my mind. I never got around to doing my review of the Neptune 2. There are negatives that I personally don't like about it. Personally. So now it gives static. Ah, damn it. It's because it's charging right now. Sorry, folks. I'm going to give it a few minutes of charging. Sorry for the static. I'll turn up the music a little bit, and I'm just going to work. And then I will chime back in after I give it a few minutes to charge. So, or maybe I'll switch to the wireless setup. How much juice does this got? Enough. One, two, three. Let's check. Plenty of battery life on this. I got the wireless lavalier set up. Let's put this on for a little while. One second while I switch. One, two, three. Let's see if that worked. Or if it's all freaking blown out loud, blah, blah. Yep, way too loud. One, two, three. One, two, three. Sorry for that, folks. Lower my mic a little bit. One, two, three, checking microphone, checking microphone. That looks a heck of a lot better, but let's go down even further. One, two, three, checking microphone, still too hot. We'll turn it down here. One, two, three, okay, that's better, that's better. Sorry about that, folks. Now we're on the wireless lavalier setup. Let me know if this sounds like crap. I'm gonna let the other microphone charge for a while, and we'll go from there. That's the next thing that needs to be upgraded is audio solutions in this setup. Ah, damn it. I picked this up without thinking and I dropped a couple of nuts out of it. Have to be aware of where they all are. Alright, 2 in the bottom, 6 in the back. Now let's move forward with this. Okay, now it goes in this away. All right. Gosh, getting those to line up is going to be a bitch. The electric screwdriver I use is an X-Tool brand. X-Tool. Well, I should say it Zool. X-O-O-L. I like it. It's not that strong. It's a little weak, but it works. And I'm fairly fond of it. Okay. This is supposed to be... Now we're supposed to have M3x8s. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. If nothing, I was having a lot of wrist issues from working on printers all the time, and this really alleviated those problems for me. So it took a lot of that just twisting motion. Like, I still need to hit that with a hex wrench to tighten it, but overall, it's run in there, you know, and that's a big step. All right. It's on my Amazon affiliate page. If you go look on my links page, you'll find my Amazon affiliate page. And this thing is on there. Seems short. It's the right length. All right. Those two are started. Now, push these over so I can get a screw started in them. Yeah. I'm working on the bottom ones now. And there's 6 in the back that need screws yet. Oh, one just fell out from somewhere. Luckily there's holes you can kind of get them into in this design. Went a little past. There we go. How large is this going to be in total? Very small. Have you built an enraged rabbit feeder? No, I have not. I'm intrigued by it, but I don't really see a need for it personally. What the heck? Did that miss? Did it spin? No, it's in. There we go. It missed some reason. I've got a dual extrusion Ender 3 that I'm currently building. My Palette 3, my Palette 3 Pro should be in this coming Monday, actually. Finally, it shipped. So I should have my Palette 3 Pro Monday. Ooh, how did that fall out? Where did it? Oh, it could fall out the ends. That's interesting. That's going to be annoying to get back in there. Go. Yeah, got one in. This is weird. Having to like fiddly fit these back in here. I've got to like... How many things have you made? I don't know what you mean, how many things? How many things have I printed? Hell if I know, hundreds and hundreds of hours of stuff. How many designs have I made? 70 plus that are publicly available. More privately. Whoop, there we go. All right, let me get a couple of these screwed in here, and then I'll figure out what I'm missing. It looks like one of them lined up. That's pure frickin' luck. These are 12s. M3 by 12. I just realized the audio is one channel. Sorry for that, folks. Is it actually working properly? Is it down mixed to mono? No. All right, now it should be pretty good. Sorry about that, folks. Was only coming out of one channel for a while there. Wouldn't be one of my streams if it wasn't a mess. I am working on, yes, my Voron build, as somebody just noted there. One of the Voron builds. Voron V0.1. All right, that's threaded. Where's the 6? The other 2 supposed to go? Oh, there's supposed to be 2 between. I don't know what they're for. All right, that's in there. Next. 1, 2, 3. Rad. I got one more I got to put in. Why is the Ender 3 Pro better than the V2? I like it better because I don't like the additional features of the V2. The V2 has the color screen on it. I'm not a big fan of the color screen. I don't really see a big benefit to it. It has... Come on. Come on. This one's spinning for some reason. Yeah, the Ender 3 V2 has the color screen. It's got the belt tensioners. It's got the glass bed. I don't like glass beds personally. And those benefits aren't worth the additional price, in my opinion. That's all. You can buy an Ender 3 Pro. Oh, it also has the quiet motherboard. It does have the quiet motherboard, but you can upgrade the machine to have a quiet. Why is this one spinning? Did I put a... No, that doesn't make any sense. For some reason, this freaking M3 is spinning. The other ones didn't. There we go. I don't know what that was about. All right, now I got to feed one more of these in here. Where did that just come from? There we go. Oh, I missed one. Somehow. Damn it. Okay, I see what people say about this being a fiddly process. There we go. Now, stick you in there. All right. Ay, ay, ay. It's made for tiny hands, not for tradesman hands. My hands are not the biggest ones in the world, but they have definitely got some years of tradesman work on them, so... I'm usually the guy in the shop that people would come to do the fiddly stuff, despite the fact that my hands aren't the smallest, but whatever. It's a tiny printer for tiny people, I guess. There we go. That one's good. Now I got one more I got to put in. That for some reason my one didn't catch, even though it seemed like it did. Seemed like it caught, but it didn't. Oh, creeping down on me. As it should. But come on. You can go. God, this is fiddly. It'd be nice if they made a nut bar for this. I don't see why they couldn't. Would add a little weight to the Z, but who cares? Probably a good reason to go to the Kigurumi, the steel bed platform. Use gravity to my advantage. I will make gravity work for me. Yes. Damn it, it fell out. Come on. Stick that screw in there and just frickin'... Pops out of there so easily. All of these went so smoothly except for this frickin' one. You guys having fun watching me yell at myself? I got the Ender 3 S1 and not sure about the value on the market. I understand that. They didn't send me one and I can't justify buying one, so I have no input or opinion. I've heard mixed-ish things about it. My concern about the Ender 3 S1 is the, there we go. My concern about the S1 is Parts. Replacement parts. You know, it's one of the things I really like about the Ender 3 currently is you can just get replacement parts anywhere for an Ender 3. And I don't believe that's going to be true for a little while for the S1. And that's a concern. There is a mod to do dual Z screws for the Ender 3 V2. I don't recommend it personally. I recommend getting proper adjustment on your... Come on. This is the problem with doing stuff like this. That's how it happens when you're live. You are not wrong about that. My fault. The one thing I thought about it before I put this together. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's the orientation, what it is. Yeah, that's too long a screw. I grabbed the wrong one. And I didn't recheck. All right. Let's check. It should be to the high side. Yep, it's upside down. Son of a bitch. That's annoying. I could slide these down, and that'll work. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. At least you didn't spend 4 hours tracing problem and realize the printer wasn't plugged in. That's a significant time sink. Oh wait, it might not be upside down. It is not. Ha! Woo! Okay, I'm wrong. I'm looking at it wrong. It is the right way. Woo! By pure dumb luck. Only reason it's the right way. Pure dumb luck. Why am I so off-center? I feel like the camera's moving. The camera's totally moving. You didn't used to be able to see that much. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm probably making shit up. Tighten these all up. All right. Now we got a movable Z-axis. Smooth moving. What cams do you use in your printer? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean, cams. All right, let's continue through the instructions. Oh, cameras. For the most part, I don't. Why did you disconnect? I gotta double check this app that I'm using for my iPhone, my iPad. Let's double check the connection on this thing that's been working flawlessly till now. Blip. Ask me later. Blah, blah, blah. Go away. Close all tabs. Fuck off. Why is that not gonna... Okay. Well, I guess we're done with the iPad at this point. For you folks, anyway. Sadly, I've got to get the iMac in here so I can actually do that much easier. Windows does not make that nearly as easy as it should be. To just hook up a frickin' iPad and let you folks view the feed. Okay. Check for binding or snagging. There's no binding or snagging. It's moving freely. All right. Now it's time for these uprights to come off. Whoop. These were only on here temporarily, so they can come off. All right, those are off. All right, with those off, I got those two nuts out of there I didn't need there anymore because I put them in wrong. Now I need to put 6 in the top. Move this. This is a pain in my ass. Six in the top. Two more. One, two, and now 1 in the back, 1 in the back. On the other side, I need to preload 6 again. I'm going to put a couple of screws in the top ones just to hold them in place. Yeah, okay. Just dropped one. Good luck finding that one. Okay, now 6 in the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Bloop. I'm going to put a couple of screws in these too to keep them in place. So now it's time for my Y rails and those extrusions. Come on. All right. Whoop, dropped another one. I'm just dropping M3 nuts like it's going out of fashion. I'm gonna put one in that one too. Got like temporary screws all over this thing just to hold things in place. Bam. Okay. Now, an M3 by 10 in the end of this one extrusion over here. Okay, now we need my Y rails I assembled earlier with their stoppers facing outward. And 2 of the E extrusions, A, B, C, E, I believe. A, B, C, D, E, E. These seem correct. Time will tell. Are these the H's? No, these are the H's I just took off. Okay. These are my H's. These are my E's. All right, this is weird. Let's slip this stuff together. That doesn't reach far enough. That tightened up way too soon. Oh, it pulled out. Why did... Oh, I got it backwards. Screwed up one thing. I put this one extrusion on the wrong... I put it on the wrong side. Because these Funzor extrusions are different. Damn. These Funzor extrusions are different, so I've got to step back and reset up my Y rails. Damn. They have these little cutouts for the screws to go through. And I screwed that up. I screwed up the screw up. Screwing. Alright. That apart. I can do this pretty quick now, I think. That. My smaller bit. See, this AliExpress part is a little different than the what they call for, and as such, it created a problem for me. Let me see if I can show you folks. Yeah, the electric screwdriver is a big help. There's a hole right here that's a little larger, so the screw head pulls through it. I needed to be on the other side. I missed that early on. Other side we go. On goes the rail. Where are my rail blocks? They're right there, Brad. Good thing I figured this out now. Okay. Good modeling software for beginners. What is that tool? This is the XOOL electric screwdriver. I'm really fond of it. It's not as strong as I might like, but it does really good for that, like just running things in. Okay, Y rails, 38 millimeters from the end. Modeling software. I recommend Fusion 360. Is it necessarily the most beginner-friendly software? No, not at all. But the problem is no design software is super beginner-friendly. And yes, there are some slightly easier ones, but you'll hit limitations with them eventually. And I really just recommend learn the one that you can grow with. Fusion 360 is free for hobbyists. I say pick that up, learn it, and you'll be set. Alright, that's that. That's what I use. It's free for hobbyists, so give it a try. If it's too much for you, then step back and try something like Tinkercad. I just kind of support the idea of like learning what you're going to use. You know, yeah, Tinkercad gets it done for a lot of folks, but if you hit limitations with Tinkercad, then you have to relearn something else with Fusion 360. I hit limitations with SketchUp, and I'm taking online Fusion 360 classes. See that? Yeah, I support that as a thought process, as the way you're approaching it. I mean, you know, I understand, like, some of the skills of SketchUp or Tinkercad will translate to Fusion 360, but I just say start with Fusion 360, you know? Oh, I realized I just tightened that without actually putting the guide block on it. Shouldn't have done that. Alright. Off you come. Over you go. Oh, I'm getting tired. Tinkercad, but it's severely limited. Yeah, that's why I recommend just start with Fusion 360. I understand it's overwhelming to get going. It was overwhelming for me when I started with it. But you can figure it out fairly quickly with a little online learning, a little time. If I print a soap dispenser with PLA, is it safe to use? Yes. I would call it safe. Only because I don't call PLA food safe or 3D prints in general food safe purely because of the layers and such, but because you're dispensing soap, I feel like that kind of negates some of the issues you're going to have there. All right. 38 millimeters. Tighten this down. Boom. 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 Double check. 38 millimeters. Udemy has courses for Fusion 360 for 15 bucks. I haven't taken any of those. I've never really found any teachers that I particularly like with Fusion 360 personally. I need to do more class stuff, more teaching of Fusion to really get around to that more. Okay, double check the other one since I didn't use the guide blocks. Actually, that's pretty good. It gets a little tight at the end. I'll loosen this up and just retighten it. Loosen and retighten. Against that stopper. Boom, 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 boom. A few more booms. All right. You couldn't be a Udemy teacher, you're not monotone. Yeah, that's part of the problem is a lot of teachers that teach that kind of stuff, they get so monotone and boring, or they just beat around the bush about the topic. So it's like, so frustrating. It took me a long time to not be monotone. My natural state is fairly monotone. It took me a long time to learn a presentation voice, a voice to like project and speak to you folks with. So, okay, now I can move back to where I was before. The Y rail goes on this side. All right. Y rails are attached, kind of. Now for the E rails. One. Two. All right, there is the beginning of this. It's not at all done. Now I got to put screws in the back of these, M3x10s, and don't forget the cable chain on the inside before it's too late. Thank you, I do have that on there. So, if you just joined, I just realized I had a It's not receiving enough video to I'm getting a warning from YouTube, but it seems to be clean. Let's look at my stats. Stream quality's good. I gotta get a hardwire connection in here for this. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, and that's really not the best way to be. Seems to be working, so I'm going to continue. Have it on the inside? I believe so. You mean this one? So I'm not to the point where I put the other end of it on yet, so. Did it wrong. That kind of stinks because of the threaded inserts. There's a handful of things in these instructions I'm not too thrilled about personally, but we're getting there. Why is that like... We'll figure that out in a second. H is back on. H1. H2. That's upside down. That's the way it should be. Alright, I'm going to put this down in a second so I can square it. Overall, the instructions are really good. I'm impressed. There's been a few things where I think they really missed a couple things, but overall, the instructions have been really good. I printed the first can cup a bit too large for my cold light adult beverage. Advice? I don't know that I've ever designed one that fits those, unfortunately. The Coors Lights have a different diameter. So, give me a second. I gotta square this up. Straight edge. Alright, first side down, next side. Is that supposed to match up? I feel like it should, and it's really not. And if I make it, it goes over. I don't like that. This extrusion seems like it hangs past a little bit. I guess it's not bad. This side feels like it rocks a little. Yes, I did. Dan and I have conversed a little bit here and there. Thank you for making that contact for me. Thank you. Nice evolution, only 1 hour in only 1 hour. I mean, well, since you might have been here last, so yeah. We've got the beginnings of the frame. So, did I do this side? No, this is the side I haven't done. I got mixed up talking to you folks. All right, now straight edge. Straight edge, like me. That slipped a little. Get back in there. Straight edge on. All right. What's your... I don't understand what you're asking. Make an insert for the Coors Lights you're asking on that one. Yeah, I really need to consider it. It'd be a very thin insert. It's not much of a diameter difference on the Coors Lights, I don't think. I don't drink, so I don't... This is the hard part for me. Like going out and buying beer just to make a design for, you know? Oh, design I'm proudest of. I don't know. Bobby the Bomb, I feel like. I really like Bobby the Bomb. Hard to say. Honestly, hard to say. All right, I'm going to tighten these and I'm going to double check square in a moment. Woo! Voron Red. Vomred. I don't know what that means. Nope, my light's still on this thing. Change cameras. Almost out of tea. Okay, these are supposed to be 37 millimeters in. Let me double check that. Pretty freaking good. Pretty freaking good. That one's a little iffy. That one's a little iffy. Bottom's got to move just a little bit. Well, it's actually the top. Actually, the top. Sad. Got to switch drafts. Yep. Got to go with what's going to work with your design. With the design, right? Okay. Let me check. Let me set this 37. Come on, one more click. I'm like 37.01. Come on, trying to get to 37. You can do it. 36.99, I'm going with that. Tight. This side. Same thing. What's it sitting on? Oh. Yes, gotta go a little. Not quite. When it tightens up, it wants to pull in a little. Gotta push it just a hair further. That's good. All right. Boom, boom. Say way-o. Check the top. Pretty happy with that. That could move. Good. Let's check this side now. I could probably tweak this one just a hair. All right, I'm happy with that. This is the Voron V0.1. Yes, it is. Or the beginning of the Voron V0.1. So, we have started. Only started. All right, those are good. Now I've got to preload a whole lot of nuts. Looking at it from this perspective, I need 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Do I often integrate 3D prints into carpentry projects? No, I don't, but I will be in the shop we're working on right now. So look forward to that in some videos coming up. Oh, getting some mixing in the frickin' bins here. Crossing streams. I hate these where the little dividers can come up in these things. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I got to put 1 in here for the other end of the cable chain. Cable chain number 2. How much time do you think you're going to spend on this project? You mean this project, the Voron V0? Probably like 10, 12 hours at least. That's a guess, but I think probably a solid guess. Built a desk PC and designed 3D printed shrouds and stuff. That's rad. I'm looking to do a fully 3D printed case. I'm not happy with my current PC setup. I want to switch it up, and nobody makes a case that I really like for what I want. So I'm going to design it and 3D print it. I think it'll be a fun video, and yeah. But I got to get around to doing it. Oh, wrong size bit. Come on. Working one-handed. There we go. There we go. Why does that seem loose? Is that supposed to be against there? It's not really showing me. Guess so. Can always loosen it up later. Linus Tech Tips did do a fully 3D printed case. They downloaded one. They just like downloaded STLs and printed it. I'm going to straight up beginning to end. I put the 2 longest screw in here. That's why. I'm going to design my own. And, you know, try and do a better job. So, it was a fun video. But, I don't know. I think I can do a better job. So, at least for my case, my use case, my situation. So, maybe I'll call out Linus Tech Tips in that one and be like, I did it better than them or something, you know. YouTube, you got to be sensational. I watch Linus Tech Tips almost every day. My girlfriend calls it my telenovelas. So the same thing about their desk PC. Yeah, I really like Linus Tech Tips. I do, but I feel like their and I get like some of why this is. Their fabrication work when they're building things is always a little lackluster to me. Like they just don't have they have engineers building things, and that's not how you do it. That's how tech people think you do it. It's not how you do it. Engineers and fabricators working together, that's a better story. And I'm sure a lot of it is time limitation. Like, I'm sure Linus only allows them so much time per project because they have to make a video every day. I get that. So, I have the luxury of multiple days. I almost applied to work there forever ago. When they were looking for people to do that with, more fabrication stuff. Alright, I need M3 nuts on the outside of this as well. I'm really mixing stuff up in here now. Oh no, they're going both ways. Stop it. 2, 3. My fingers are too fat for this. 2, 3. I haven't actually opened up my box of panels. I need to do that now. So I gotta insert one of my panels. Excuse me. Printed Solid. I got my panels from Printed Solid. Not a sponsor, just where I got my panels from. Imagine if you actually got the job. You know, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy. I would have had to move to Canada, and a part of Canada that I wouldn't want to. So boom! All of my panels are in one little package. But it was at a time when I was living somewhere else and like things weren't going very well, so it would have been nice then. Alright, Voron black panels, top hat panels. Boop. black panels here. All right, bottom panel, that's what I need. I'm gonna peel the plastic on this. I want to do my own thing, you know, I'm happy doing my own thing, so I'm glad with where I'm at. I'm glad with where things are at. All right, this goes to that corner. There we go, first panel in. Whoop, whoop. Just lost a couple of the freaking nuts. God, always. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. First black panel in. What's wrong with us Canucks? Nothing. It is going to be an enclosed Voron V0. Nothing wrong with Canada. We have discussed moving to Canada many times, but they're in Vancouver, and I would want to be like Toronto, Ontario. I feel like Toronto is more my speed. It would be cool to see I'd love to collab with somebody that big. That'd be great, but that's the sad part of, like, people always think, oh, you should really collab with so-and-so. It's like, that's great, but I'm such a small fry that I don't bring anything to the table, you know? It's the hard part. Why would they want to collab with me? Is what it comes down to. Love you folks here on YouTube, but I have like 4,000 followers, so. Where are you at? Ontario? Or Toronto? Or Vancouver? Vancouver looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. And I love the mountains and such, so I would like that, but I don't know. I think Toronto's just much more, Toronto, yeah. I've been to Toronto numerous times. Toronto is much more my speed. I really like Toronto. My girlfriend actually lived in Toronto for a little while. She came back during the pandemic. All right, now, what's that extrusion? Preload nuts on a B extrusion. How many nuts? 4. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3. Getting hard to reach these. They're getting down there. 4. All right. I want to get this frame together before the stream is over, so let's keep going. That was my goal for the stream from the get-go, was like the frame constructed, and I think we're on a pretty good path right now, so. This seems right, but I don't really see how. We're going to cross that bridge in a minute. Ah, I see what I'm missing. Okay, there's got to be 2 M10s in that extrusion as well. I see, I see, I see. I'm missing a couple of M10s in this extrusion that I just put in here. All right, M3 by 10s. Keep saying M10. What's the part of this build that's looking the most challenging to you? Just keeping everything in the proper order. Wiring, I'm sure, is going to be a pain. But overall, it's actually going very smoothly. Smoother than I kind of expected. Need a job. If we decide to go up and need a job in renos, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the thought. I don't think we're going anywhere. We've discussed it back and forth, and I think we're going to stay right where we're at. But I appreciate the thought. We both like Philadelphia just fine. I mean, I really like Philadelphia more than she does, but I think. But yeah, but thank you. All right, those are together, or on there. Verify your preload count. I'm going to get these couple started, and then we'll verify our preload count. Bloop. Any recommendations for Ender 3 Pro Runaway? Look at your sensors. Check your thermistors. Your bed thermistor, your hot end thermistor. It's possible the wiring gets mixed up on those. If you've made any modifications lately, you can mix those up. And it's also common for them to fail. So I would be looking at that kind of stuff. All right. Okay, I should have 6 here, 3 here, 2 there. I do. 3 there. All right. Oh, now I got to flip it over. These all should be locked in. Now I should have, from the bottom, I should have 4, 4, 4. It only called for 3 in this one. Son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure the instructions only called for 3 here. I got 6 there. I'm not too worried about it. I printed the side piece. It's for the side panels. Frame is near finished. You know what? I think I can slip one more in there. It's for the side panels, which I already... Or the skirts. It's for the skirts. And I printed the one-piece skirts, so I should be able to get away without that. But I'm going to put the 4th one in anyway. I am fairly sure the instructions said 3 in that spot. But it's likely I'm wrong. It's pretty likely I'm wrong. All right, these are just rough tightened for the moment. I will reassess once I kind of figure out things a little bit here. Square and all that. Oh, we're moving on to the AB, the motor builds. All right. Then I am done with the frame for the moment, probably for this stream. This is the Voron V0 frame. So, I'm going to use the Big Tree Tech Pico. Yeah, it definitely said 3, the one side for 3 on the skirts. I printed the one-piece side skirts, so I should be able to get away without that, but whatever. Can I print on it? I mean, I could print, like, above it. So, definitely not printing anything right now. Biggest pitfalls have just been making sure that I get everything in the right position so far. You know, the right orientation. Like, I got these Y linear rails on the wrong side of the extrusion the first time around, which is specific to the extrusions I use, not necessarily the overall Voron V0. Some of the instructions are a little confusing as the orientation that you're supposed to be running things on at, but overall the instructions are really good. Like we were just talking about there, I just checked, counted. It tells you to count, make sure you have enough nuts into all the points on the bottom. And I swear the instructions said to only put 3 on the one side, and Lightspeed said that they had that same problem, or they did as well, but it's supposed to be 4. So something's off there. But I could look back, but I'm not too worried about it. All right, frame is done. Oh, how speed-wise, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be able to push on this thing. I'm hoping we can push it hard, but we're going to find out. I'm going to play with that, and we are going to push this thing to its limits, absolutely. I've got a fun project idea in mind with a friend of mine who is on a big YouTube channel, and we're gonna play with it. So it is quite mini. It's a little tiny thing, 120 millimeter build volume. Like most of this is dead space. The print volume is only like right here. So, all right, I'm gonna set this aside, and now it's time to move on to the AB motor setups. I'm gonna put those together, and I think that's gonna be it for this stream. This might be a little bit much even for this stream yet, but we're gonna do it. It really isn't that much dead space once it's all done. You'll see. Like the whole printer, the entire printer is going to fit on the bed of an Ender 3, square-wise. So it's smaller than it seems. I'm fine with it, and a large part of it being a little larger and whatever is making it dense, making it stronger, so that it can print really fast. Good printer for me to get started. Starter 3D printer, the Creality Ender 3 series is my go-to recommendation. All right, my motor plates. Boom, 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 boom. All right, these ones. My A. We're starting with A. Fire up the soldering iron and pull out a handful of these. Is expensive for the size. Oh yeah, the Voron V0 is not a cheap machine for the size, absolutely. That's true. But it's about being more of a specialty purpose than value, you know? I don't know. I wanted to build the V0 before I build the 2.4, personally. Just to play with it a little bit, get things going fast. Voxelab Aquila is basically an Ender 3 V2 clone. Yes, it is. But here's the thing. Parts for an Ender 3 are significantly easier to get than a Voxelab Aquila. And the community behind the Ender 3 is larger than the Voxelab. That's why I recommend those. I did a whole video about this. That's why I recommend the Ender 3 over the clones that are out there. A lot of the clones are much harder to find information for and work with in that regard. All right, I'm going to switch camera angles, and we're going to put in some heat inserts. These ones are supposed to be recessed more. Doesn't really say how far. Two of them are supposed to recess in further, but it doesn't really tell me how far. I screw up focus there? Probably. Love to have a Voron. Got a monster of a deal on an Ender 7. Cool. How do you like your Ender 7? I have no experience with it. Alright. Inserts are in. Oh yeah, I totally missed focus on that. Sorry about that, folks. I accidentally grabbed the focus ring when I went to grab the zoom ring. Alright. Identifying my A parts. This one. Is the A this one marked? Doesn't look like it is. Knock out some brim that I have left in these prints. I use brim when I print ASA to help with bed adhesion. A little bit of it left here. Now one heat insert needs to go into here. Ooh, this one curled up a little bit. That's not cool. I might need to reprint this. Yeah, this curled bad. Woo! Yeah, this is the one I need. It curled bad. Let me double check, make sure I didn't print a second one of these. And if I didn't, I might be at a standstill. I didn't. All right, awesome. This has got to get reprinted. That's way too curled up to be used in a motor stack. Because the bearings and the washers and everything sit on top of this. This curled up too much. I'm gonna move to the B motor setup. See if we can do that one. All right, B, heat inserts again. Ah, damn it, this curled too. This part curled up. It's got a bad curl on this end. It looks like the B motor plate I gotta reprint. Yeah, it's curled all four corners. So my B motor plate and my A plate for shims I gotta reprint. Unless, is this my B? Oh, actually, no, I'm okay on the A. It's the B one that curled. Curled bad. So bad. Okay, so I can continue on A, it looks like. Yeah, it appears I can continue on A. Okay. One heat insert then. Whole lot of chat going on there. Sorry, folks. I'm engrossed with what I'm doing. I can't chime in. Insert this heat insert into here. Whoop, in that goes. All right. Back to A. Where was I at here? Let's see if we can get this whole A side together, and then I'm gonna have to reprint the B parts, unfortunately. All right, heat inserts are in. That goes through there. Is that right? No, upside down. Goes through like that. All right. There's that together. Now, this needs to go. Heat inserts in. Oh, wait, I'm looking at this upside down. This is my A that's all warped up. It is my A that's all warped up, but yeah, that's a problem. All right, it's got to get reprinted. Okay, well, on that note, my A and my B both have motors. My Core XY motors both have flaws in the print. I've got to redo them. I'll get the Prusa fired up here real soon, reprint these, and hit the ground running on this again another day. Yeah, so dang, I really had hoped to get that together. I'd really hoped to get that further along. I wanted to get the AB motor setups on here. It was kind of my goal. But for right now, we've got the Voron V0 beginning of the frame. The chunk of the frame, the main cube is together. So, all right, folks, I think that's going to wrap it up for the stream, unfortunately. Let me see if I can switch camera angles here. I'm going to have to mess with focus. Out of focus. That's better. There it is. The main Voron V0 frame cube in there. That's what this was my main goal, was to get this together today. I'm glad we got that done. It's been about, what, a 3-hour stream at this point, I believe. Oh, wow. Yeah, about a 3.5-hour stream now, so that seems about right to me. Whoop, got that right in camera angle. Let me show you let me try and get a better close-up of what's going on with these two warped up ones. So here's the two warped up pieces. You can see that this one's warped bad, this one's warped bad in that corner. And these are the motor mounts. These are where the Core XY belts go. Critically important. critically important. I cannot let those go. For folks on TikTok, you can see how this slopes down there. That should not be that way. And this one is potato chippy. It's freaking the whole thing. So both of these need to be reprinted. I didn't realize those lifted when I printed them. So that's going to be that for this one, folks. That's going to end it for this stream. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been an excellent stream. We made more progress than I actually expected to, honestly. So I'm glad for that. I'm not going to complain about the progress we have made at this point. So thank you very much to everybody who has been here, involved in the chat, keeping things rolling, answering others' questions, and yeah. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of this, the first in my Voron V0 stream, V0 build stream. Yeah. So we'll be back. We'll be doing more of this. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to it before next Sunday. I don't want to drag this out for weeks. I want to get this thing up and running ASAP. So thank you for being here, folks. I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.